Hello everyone, and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and it's Saturday, so you know what that means. It's time for my weekly news roundup for week 17. Another solid week for ARPG news. Again, if you want to jump around from any stories, everything is timestamped in the description below. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Our first story takes us to the world of Path of Exile. Now, if you follow my weekly news roundups, you might have noticed that I left POE out from last week, and that's because I wanted to make a separate video breaking down kind of all the drama that happened around the Ultimatum League, and I made that video and I will link it at the end of this video. But ultimately, this is just my opinion. It's kind of the opinion of my Discord community and a lot of others, but this might be one of the worst League launches, not from like a mechanic that Ultimatum sucks, but just servers and drama and problems that Grinding Gear Games has ever had. Path of Exile devs, letting streamers bypass queue was clearly a mistake. Now, if you don't know about what happened, ultimately the servers were crashing, had an influx of people were reporting queues of over 80-90,000 to wait to get into the game. The game was crashing every 10 minutes. It was literally a day one disaster. But what GGG did was allow any streamers, paid streamers, to bypass the queue so they could access the game or the league. The decision to allow any streamers to bypass the queue was clearly a mistake. Instead of offering viewers something to watch while they waited, it offended all our players who were eager to get into the game and weren't able to, while instead of having to watch others enjoy that freedom. It's completely understandable that many players were unhappy about this. We tell people that Path of Exile League starts are a fair playing field for everyone, and we need to actually make sure that is the reality. Now, there's a lot of people that say, oh, who cares? Of course, they're going to let the streamers in early. They're the one bringing people to the game. They're paid by Grinding Gears Games. And there's other people that are like, no, this is BS. GGG is slowly turning into Blizzard. So I don't know where you fall on those opinions, but not a good league start for Ultimatum. Moving over to the world of Magic Legends. Now, I am a firm believer in giving credit when credit is due. Am I a fan of Cryptic Studios? No. Am I a fan of Perfect World? No. Was I a fan when I was playing Magic Legends? No. But I have to say, when it comes to listening to the community, when it comes to communicating with the player base weekly, when it comes to dropping updates in a timely manner, they have done a fantastic job. Doesn't mean I love what they have done in the past, but give them credit when credit is due. April 22nd, 2021 update notes. Magic Legends dropped another update this week. Performance continues to make large strides, and we expect that our changes will provide smoother play experiences across all hardware levels. There's also been a lot of discussion about expanding the endgame, both in challenge and specific content. Our team wholeheartedly agrees with this, and we are crafting more endgame experiences that we will share as soon as we can. It's good. So for this week, we got a content update, system update, and a UI update. So not huge, but again, they have been dropping something every single week. Maybe it's time to jump back into Magic Legends and give it another try. Swords of Legends Online continues to make the news cycle every single week, and this week is no different. Swords of Legends Online will feature a battle pass, showcases class gameplay, shop, and more in its first stream. Yes, we got a 90-minute stream this week, and it really does break down a lot for the game. Now, obviously, I'm not going to play that stream for this video, but I will link it in the description below under the timestamp for this section if you want to check it out. Now, for me, this is a game that I'm going back and forth on if I want to play. It's been a while since I've been able to jump into a full MMO because obviously it takes a lot of time, but this game does intrigue me, so I am curious to see how the West is going to react to it. We should be getting our hands on it summer 2021. Moving over to my current #1 recommendation when it comes to ARPGs, Last Epoch. Now we know we are getting a massive update next month, 0.8.2. That has been confirmed that it is coming in May. And Sarno, the community manager, teased us again with new visuals that are coming in the form of spires. Now, I already made a full video breaking down all of this, and I will link it at the end of this video. But ultimately, spires are something that you have to kill to complete a monolith run in their endgame system. And it is one of their oldest content that they had when they initially made the game. So the new spires, look at that. It's actually my favorite one. Huh? And that one's not as good. Fire. And I'll show you one more. Poison. So again, I know Last Epoch does not have the best visuals from an ARPG standpoint compared to its competition, but every single update they continue to improve the visuals, and by the time we get 1.0, I think you're going to be impressed. We also had some Diablo news this week, and it might not be the news that you are looking for. It is not D4, and it is not D2R, it is Diablo Immortal. And now, if you are a fan of mobile gaming, there is nothing wrong with that. Blizzard dropped a new closed alpha for Android users in Australia. And they dropped a nice little, I think 4.5 minute video where Wyatt talked about what this closed alpha is focused on. They dropped another class, the Paladin, and 2 new endgame systems. You have the Cycle of Strife, and you have the Heliquary, which is, one of them is a big multiplayer 8v8 battle where you have the Shadows versus the Immortals, and the other one is basically single player where you are fighting a monthly huge demon boss. I already made a full video breaking down this, and again, I will link it at the end of this video if you want to check it out. It's been a while since I've had a feel-good story in my weekly news roundup, and when I saw this news, I was like, perfect. Lord of the Rings player took a hobbit to max level just by baking pies. Yes, you read that correctly. One Lord of the Rings player, however, decided to level a Hobbit character all the way to cap of 130 in the most realistic way possible, by baking pies. MMORPG.com noticed the Reddit post that showed off Cooking with Sim, a Hobbit warden of the Evernight server owned by Unlikely Gain 4047, who attempted the feat because I wasn't sure it was possible. They started with 30 gold of seed money, making vegetable medleys, which required little in the way of ingredients. They farmed, which also granted XP, and baked their way through the upper levels with 9-star pies, which are more costly but also smell for a small profit. Listen to this. As if the leveling through baking wasn't enough of an impressive feat, Unlikely Gain 4047 said that they did batches for between 10,000 to 15,000 at a time. They were baking as much as 15,000 pies. Really tested the limits of the bag and vault space considering how many pies they were baking. It's not impossible to think that they made things even harder on themselves by flooding the auction house with so many pies, thus driving down the profit margin on each. At least the Shire was well fed. This person maxed their Lord of the Rings online character by baking. Moving over to the world of tech, Nvidia's RTX 3080 Ti rumored specs, price, and release date have been leaked. Now, this is the video I actually made yesterday, talking about the GPU market. We now have leaks, none of this is confirmed by Nvidia, for a 3080 Ti that's supposedly coming next month in May, and a 3070 Ti that is supposed to come in June. And these cards are supposed to be unhackable, and they have mining limiters on them. So the idea is that this stock will go to gamers. Miners won't want them because they won't be able to mine their ether off of it, which means there'll be a larger stock available for the gamers, but who knows if that's the case. And again, I will link that video at the end of this video if you want the full breakdown. These links reinforce previous information regarding the RTX 3080 Ti specs and expected performance. The RTX 3080 Ti is rumored to feature 384-bit memory bus and 12 gigabytes of DDR6X memory. That's half the amount of memory offered by the 3090, but it's still far amount for high-resolution gaming. Furthermore, the leaks state the 3080 Ti will have 10,240 CUDA cores as opposed to the 10,496 available on the 3090. And what that means, and we don't know the tensor cores on it yet, but if this rumor is true, if this leak is correct, it means from just the gaming perspective, The 3080 Ti for $400 cheaper will perform almost as good. It'll be very close to the 3090, probably something you would not notice. The card is also said to carry either a GA102202 or GA102302 GPU that will feature a hash rate limiter that detects crypto mining. Nvidia claims this limiter is unhackable and will help decrease Ethereum mining hash rate by 50%. This will hopefully reduce the demand for RTX cards for mining purposes and make them easier to obtain for gamers, which Nvidia, I appreciate if it is true. We don't have a price leak on the 3070 Ti. We just found out that it's June, but for the 3080 Ti, almost the same gaming performance as the 3090, supposedly launching in May, and the cost will be $1,100. Any Warhammer fans out there? Last but not least, Warhammer Vermintide 2 expansion Chaos Waste is now out, and it is a very fun new trailer that I get to play for you. This dropped April 20th, and it actually has a pretty decent buzz behind it. Now what I'm going to do is allow this trailer for this new expansion to take out this video. But before I do that, if you have not joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We are approaching 900 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this weekly news roundup, and let me know in the comment section below if potentially I missed a story. Have a great rest of your weekend and enjoy this trailer.
All my life, I have heard whispers of a place where righteous gods heed mortal prayers. The Citadel of Eternity. It will take several pilgrimages to uncover the Citadel's location. The Chaos Wastes are a wilderness of tangled paths, blighted by the dark gods. Onwards to salvation.
Sounds good to me. This time. Nice to see new places.
Oh yes. What could possibly go wrong?